Welcome, everyone. It is the Matchday Preview Show, and you're watching In the North Bank. Once again, got a full house. I'm thrilled to have everyone around. Joining me again, Mark Taylor. I've got a way of kind of dealing with you guys now. The two Marks. It's like almost like the two Ronnies. Mark Taylor, all the way from Scotland. Tim and Terry, David and Ian. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Very, very good, yeah.
Good, yeah.
Looking forward to the weekend. Early kickoff and all that.
Yeah. I feel that. No more than Ian. 5 o'clock start.
The alarm going off at about 4:30 in the morning. Up at 5, out the door for a flight. But yeah, worth it for the Arsenal.
Of course, yeah, you've got to do it. Look, before I go into everything, exciting news in the North Bank. We've just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube this week. So a massive thank you to everyone that's come on, supported the shows, and has contributed to what we've put out. Certainly last year, where we put out some good stuff. So without everyone, we wouldn't be in this position. But we're just getting started, I think, in the channel. I think we've got a lot of ideas, we've got a lot of good things, and we want to keep growing. A shout out, anyone that's passionate about Arsenal, wants to get involved. We're looking for others to join the team and help us in future shows. So message us on their social media or whatever, and then we can have a chat and get you on shows and get you into the team. 100% need some more guys and girls. Let's get into tonight's show. We are previewing Lunchtime clash against Brighton. We're then going to dive into the Champions League draw, the new format.
Please don't ask me to explain that, please.
Oh, mate! I think I summed it up on Twitter. I think I said it was like watching like a sitcom being, or like all the actors from a sitcom, a crap one, then basically performing the national lottery. It was just a bit weird. It just seemed a bit over the top and just, I don't know.
And the funniest thing was just watching Ronaldo just pressing a big button every few minutes. It was the weirdest thing. It was very strange.
Thinking how much he got paid for doing that as well.
Yeah, I know.
I quite like it.
What we'll do, we'll go through the predictions as well for the weekend's fixtures again, and want to hear from anyone watching on YouTube or X. But make sure you don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. So, let's get started with the game. Plenty to discuss. Brighton have had a strong start, haven't they? We've got a new manager, Fabian Herzler. Is that how you pronounce him?
It is now.
It's gone out. So we'll have to go with that. But before we dive in, interesting match facts. So we've won 3 of the last 4 Premier League games at Brighton. It's as many as what we had in the first 10 meetings. Brighton have won 3 of the last 7 Premier League away games at the Emirates. Only Manchester City and another club have matched or bettered that record. Who was the other club?
Probably Liverpool.
I was going to say Liverpool, yeah.
I would have said Liverpool as well, yeah. That's the first team that came to my mind.
Man United.
Careful. Swansea.
Hey!
Wow.
Oh my God.
You can't trust the Welsh.
I'm glad it was him and no one else, to be fair.
Yeah, that was shocked me as well when I read that.
Shocked.
Yeah, Brighton struggled in London last season. They didn't win any of the 7 games that they played last season. But their last victory was a big one, wasn't it? 3-0 win against Arsenal in May
That was shocking.
2023. Mark
Oh, yeah.
Taylor, do you think this history is going to give Brighton confidence going into the game?
No, I think no, I wouldn't say so at all. I mean, what was the score when we beat them last, or their place last season? I think it was 3-0 us, was it not?
2-0 at home, I think it was.
No, away from home.
Oh, yeah, it's 3-0, isn't it?
Yeah, Trossard got the third. So, no, that I don't think that their results will really have much bearing on it. Where it will is the confidence that they'll take from the first couple of games. The late winner against, obviously, Man United would really boost them. And I've watched it. I have watched them. They do look good. So I think they'll get confidence from that. But previous results, I don't think that plays a factor. I mean, it's different players, different managers. I don't think it will any bearing at all.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just always have that kind of bogey team feeling. I always have it with Brighton. Just from those first 10 games, it would always just seem like they would just always get one up on us. Tim, Brighton have won their opening 2 Premier League games this season.
Yeah.
They've only done that a few times in recent years. Not won 3 games since 2011-12 in the Championship. How do you rate their chances of making it 3 out of 3 against us?
I can't see him winning, though, to be honest. But one thing I do see him doing, it'll be interesting to see the manager. Like, he's this 31-year-old, and he's very much new. He's had a brilliant start. Like, he's the antibiotic to Sean Dyche. So but this is like, he's below there. He's coming up. He knows the record. He probably realizes we're going to what some people say is the favourites to win it. That he probably thinks this is a match now. I have to try and get a fix or a point out of it would be what he'd be aiming for, I'd say. And we'll see how he'd pick his team, how he'd select his team, how it like he's a man. Actually, a man is back playing for him at Matoma, and he's a good player, and like he has this kind of elder, even though he's 31 himself. Like there was he's James Milner and Lewis Dunk and these boys who were, I'd say, definitely father figures, if not grandfather figures at this stage in the dressing room for him. And like, and actually there was funny things. Do you remember that story about him during the summer, not to him, but Brighton, that they were going to get your man Mats Hummels. Now, actually that could, well, I suppose that could take place now, but it'd be interesting if he did come, like, he'd have about half be older than him, like. But no, I don't think, I think for Arsenal, this is a match kind of that they'd want to be, it'll test their kind of ability to break down a team that are coming to play possibly for a draw and see how they go. Now, it'll be a test. It'll also, I think, everyone that understands or Joe has a kind of a very general understanding of this Brighton model of bringing in these managers that are kind of maybe not that well known and see how they work. Everyone will be smarter after this to see how this manager is going to cope on the long-term pressure. Because if you remember back to last year, and this was the kind of thing, is like Roberto De Zerbi was started off brilliant. He was everyone's favourite. He was wearing, he was really very imaginative stuff. Everyone was brilliant. But like by the end of the season, people kind of figured him out a bit. The results weren't as good, and he began kind of whinging a bit. And even though he was gone, I'd say there was no one crying after him in Brighton anyway. And like, so there was that kind of vibe. And this guy is the next iteration now. And like, look, we all see these jokes about all this data analysis and all the like that they are the best at recruiting and the best at doing the background work. But this will be a real test of them to see. And they have that Turkish guy. They bought him. That Turkish guy that was very good in the World Cup. They bought him. So it'd be to see how he gets on as well. No, I wouldn't. It's far from a foregone conclusion in my eyes anyway. I think it'll be Joe, it'll be challenging for Arteta in the one sense that he probably needs the win, or he needs those type of matches want to be winning. And I'd say they're not going to be coming with an attitude of anything else, only that they're going to try to play for a draw. So that'd be my opinion. That'd be how I feel.
Okay, great. Ian, I'm going to come to you next. Arsenal have won each of the last 8 Premier League games, a run that started after that defeat against Aston Villa in April. If we win on Saturday, it'll be 9 in a row. We haven't done since the Invincibles season in 2004. How
Very
important?
interesting.
Uh,
I was saying that's very interesting. So go on.
Yeah, how important is this game for maintaining that momentum going into the Champions League?
Yeah, it's huge, and also, you know, going into the 2 huge games against Spurs away and City away. Brighton at home will be no pushovers, as Terry said. And like when the likes of Brighton come to the Emirates, it's kind of a shot to nothing for them because they're not expected to win. They can just come out and play, and if they get beaten 3-4-0, it's like, you know, not that the fans will be happy, but it would be understandable. So I think it will be a tricky game. I think we'll beat them, but it is really really important to keep the momentum going because these games are coming fast and ticking fast, and the next 2 after Brighton at home are absolutely massive. Probably 2 of the biggest games we play all season. The next one, like the Spurs one, just in terms of like the rivalry, but the City game then after that is absolutely huge. And I'm delighted we're playing them at home away first, which is great. But yeah, it's really important for momentum that we beat Brighton.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously we chuck in an international break before those, so it makes it even a little bit more important, I think, as well, because it's a break, isn't it?
Sorry, Paul, did you see what the fixture list is now? It's
without it being doctored and changed and rearranged by all the TV companies. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Tottenham away, Man City away, Inter away.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they get changed and doctored. Terry.
Yeah.
Given how important it is to get off to a good start in both the league and the Champions League, what do you think will be Arsenal's biggest challenge going into this game against Brighton?
Well, I think some of the players are going to will have been looking over their shoulder to see if there's anybody being bought that might threaten their place. So that's one distraction. And sometimes these matches that appear relatively easy compared to other ones lined up, they're the ones that trip you up, you know. And of course, Arteta, his big vibe is that his acumen in terms of tactics is wonderful, or so he says, aggrandizement. But we've now got a manager that he doesn't know. He doesn't know him well at all. Whereas this German manager knows Havertz, and he reckoned, I've seen him being interviewed the other day, reckon Havertz is Germany's best player. That's probably bluff and baloney, but these matches can trip you up. As we know, last Christmas we played 2 relatively easy, in inverted commas, teams and dropped 6 points, which ultimately proved a disaster. So it's not going to be straightforward. The first goal is crucial. And you never know, because it's a new manager. And of course, as Tim was saying, the scouting system they have at Brighton is second to none. And you just don't know, are they going to pull a guy that we haven't seen play before? Is Evan Ferguson fit? I mean, they've got a very good scouting system. It's obviously one of these ones that it's not just about the eyes and checking on players, but they do bring in data from all over the world and then have different ways of sifting through it. And Tim actually told me a year or so ago that Evan Ferguson, Irish guy, was one of the top bow players, wasn't
He
he?
played for Bowes.
Yeah,
Ian, you might know about this. He played for Bowes about 14. I think.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
So he was on their radar. Why he wasn't on Arsenal's radar, I don't know. He does look a decent player. The biggest problem, if we were to sign him, and there is talk about us possibly going through, is he does seem to be a bit injury prone, especially for a young player. So all in all, if I was going to the match, I would say let's get the first goal in, and then we should be all right.
Yeah, I think that's always a good thing. Start on the front foot and try and to get ahead early because we know what these games are like. Certainly these early games. David, just what are your thoughts going into the game tomorrow? Just
it's going to be a tough game, as we all know that. I mean, Brighton have had a good record at the Emirates, as you mentioned before. So it's a bit of a worry, but if we play to our best, then they're not going to stop us really. Just got to defend well. Matoma, he worries me. I really rate him. I love him at Arsenal. You've got to keep him. If we can keep him quiet, I mean, obviously Danny Welbeck scored against Man U last week. He seems to be playing well as well. I mean, I haven't watched them this season apart from just like seeing goals, so I don't know if they've changed the style of play with the new manager. But I don't think they're going to come for a draw. I think they're going to come to win the game, which will suit us actually.
True.
Yeah.
True.
yeah, no, we're going to get a viewpoint from a seagull in a moment, and yeah, I can tell from my experience. I was watching that game, Brighton Man United on a field on a campsite. I just got a 84-inch projector, so I had my stream set up on there. We managed to get blackout blinds and actually had the football on with a load of beers and. Yeah, that helped me through the Villa game later on in the day. But it was a good performance. I thought from Brighton. But yeah, it's a slight slant to what we've normally done. But guys, I'm gonna drop you guys down, and I'm gonna bring in. My seagull friend and Joe, he's agreed to come in and be involved with tonight. So it's obviously really, really good to kind of have him on. I just need to make sure I haven't lost him. How's it going, Lee? Okay. Oh, sorry, Joe. Even sorry.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well, very well. Just screen up. Yeah. So yeah, tell me what. How are you feeling as a Brighton fan this season?
Yeah, pretty positive. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes. We spent a lot of money. We've just actually submitted another £20 million bid for a Danish lad from Neuschland who might stay there on loan, and I think that will take us very close to Chelsea's spending as the biggest spenders in the world in this transfer window, which as a Brighton fan, if you told me that 15 years ago, I would never have believed you in a million years. I mean, 13 years ago, we signed Craig McCall-Smith for £2.5 million, and now we're signing players for £40 million for fun. So yeah, it's a really positive feel around the club at the moment. The new manager's got off to a really, really good start. We seem to be scoring lots of goals, haven't conceded many. Of course, that's going to change this weekend when we play you guys. But yeah, we're excited. We're feeling good. So yeah, it should be a good game.
Yeah, I'll say Herzl's had a dream start, really. 2 wins out of 2, including that 95th minute winner. Danny Welbeck, obviously, close to our hearts, I think, as Arsenal fans as well. Obviously, he was time with us. Obviously, a good player in there if he stays fit. how do you feel about that start to season, and what the atmosphere amongst Brighton fans obviously has changed because of the amount of money you're spending on players? Like I said, you've just alluded to, just like it's like totally unreal, considering a couple of years ago you would have not been dreaming of it, would you? Really?
Yeah.
What's the new manager changed? Is it does it seem like it's a massive change, or I don't know what the atmosphere? It's absolutely buzzing. I imagine.
Yeah, we're very happy. What I like to do normally when I go on a fan channel that maybe haven't heard much about Brighton's history is remind people that 28 years ago we were a point and a goal away from not existing anymore as a football club, and it's a complete and utter change of fortunes. Obviously, playing in Europe last season under Roberto De Zerbi. When he came in, he done wonders for us, and he left with our greatest respects. Whether that feeling has changed now, he's gone to Marseille and signed who he signs there. I think that's something to be said as well. But obviously, we've got Fabian Hertzler in now, which is amazing. Never heard of him in my life before he came to Brighton, obviously, but then obviously does well for us. I mean, there's not many people that come to this football club that you would think, yeah, I know them, but they always seem to do well. Obviously, we sometimes fail. People don't focus on the failed players at Brighton, and they only focus on the success stories, but there has been a lot of success stories. Fabian Hertzler hasn't changed much. I think what he is doing is giving us a little bit of a difference in a football philosophy, in just getting the ball up the pitch as quick as we can. We're much more of a counter-pressing team now, very high energy, whereas De Zerbi was very much a positional sort of manager, patience, play out from the back, whereas Hertzler is all about intensity. And fighting for each other and winning together and losing together. And I think that sort of matches the club's ambitions as well, is to have someone that does adopt that sort of community feel, and that follows through to the first team players. We're really impressed with him so far. Winning against Man United in the last minute is a huge statement for a young manager. People always mention his age, 31 years old. Yes, we know he's 31, but he has been coaching for 10 years, so he's not a young coach. He's an experienced coach, and it's something that we're really excited about this season.
No, definitely. We've been talking about Brighton's impressive away record at the Emirates. Obviously, won 3 of the last 7 visits. What do you think has been key to those successes against Arsenal in recent years? And do you think you can replicate that on Saturday?
I mean, I think the first win there was probably down to luck or playing you at a good time, because you were in a little bit of a transitional period. I think your interim manager at the time was Freddie Ljungberg. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And as I say, we played you at a good time. And then the next time we beat you was a really, really good performance. It's when Graham Potter was sort of really coming into his sort of mould at Brighton. Things were starting to really go well for us. At the end of that season where we beat you, we had quite a dominant season in London that season as well. We beat Spurs, which you'll probably be happy about. I think we were quite successful at West Ham as well. So again, that was a really good moment for the club. So I think it's just playing you at the right time and having that momentum. Obviously, when we played you and beat you 3-0 a couple of seasons ago, that was we were pushing for Europe. And obviously you guys were pushing for the title, and maybe it was just that tiny bit of pressure that got you that day. And it wasn't until the last, 10, 15 minutes where we scored those 3 goals. So it was on a knife edge, and we got you at the right moment. So it's just been a case of everything with Brighton is just doing things at the right moment, at the right time. and we seem to have a real big knack of doing that. So I hope that continues. I hope we make it 4 out of 8. But it's going to be a very tough task. Obviously, you guys keep improving. You did the double over us last season, and I was really impressed with you guys. You came to the Amex and just wiped us off the pitch, to be honest. So, yeah, it'll be a tough game. But we're, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed under a new manager now, and who knows? This could be a good game.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's going to be a good game. I picked out standout player for you guys as being João Pedro. He scored the goal against United. What player do you think, or players do you think, will be key for Brighton if you're going to get a result at the Emirates? And how do you actually see that the game actually going?
Yeah, I think the key for us at the moment is that counter pressing front four. Welbeck presses really well for the age that he's at. His work rate is unbelievable. And then behind him, you've got Mitoma, João Pedro, and Yankuba Minta, who are all blessed with pace and energy. So I think if we can put you under pressure, if we can start as we mean to go on and start quick, then I think we'll have a real good shot of maybe causing a little bit of an upset. But obviously, we know how good Arsenal are in transition. We know how good Arsenal are at getting forward and breaking lines and scoring goals. And I think you will do that. So, yeah, I'm expecting a very tough game. I'm expecting us to sort of maybe start a little bit slowly and sort of test the waters a little bit. If we can grow into the game, if we can get that counter press going as we like to, I think we could cause you some problems. But we know that Arsenal can cause us problems even more so.
Yeah, I talked about your recent struggles in London last season. Failed to win any of the 7 away games in the capital. Is it something that the fans and the team potentially are concerned about, or do you think they're getting a new, or not so much a new squad, but they can break that trend?
Yeah, I think last season was it was a really weird one because it was such a good feeling around Europe, obviously. We had a great time in Europe until we got absolutely smashed by Roma and sort of whimpered out of the competition, but that was what it was. But the Premier League season was just really, really underwhelming. We had a lot of injuries to contend with. We had a lot of football to play. And I think maybe we weren't best prepared for a season in Europe. But obviously, hindsight's an amazing thing. You can look back and say, what if Solly March didn't get injured? What if Mitoma didn't get injured? What if Enciso didn't get injured? We would have had all these players to our disposal. Estupiñán was out for a long time as well. And we all know how good of a fullback he can be when he's fit and firing. So I think maybe European football came a season too early for us. I think we're much better prepared for it now. We've got a big squad. We've got a lot of really exciting players to come in, players that we haven't even seen yet, like Gruda, Kadioglu, who's just signed a couple of days ago. And he's a real big talent. Obviously, we're absolutely gutted that we lost Matt O'Reilly after 6 minutes of his debut against Crawley after a horror tackle from their captain, which somehow didn't receive a red card for, not even a yellow card, which was just mind-blowing. But that goes to show the level of officiating in this country. I think had VAR been there, they would have had something to say about that, but that is what it is. But, as I say, even with Matt O'Reilly out, we've still got a lot of good players. We're keeping Billy Gilmore, which is, I think, is a massive sort of piece of business from the club. It looks as though he was going to go to Napoli, but the performance he put in against the performance he put in against Man United was unlike anything I've ever seen before from him. And if he can carry that on, he can be a big player for us this season. A lot of people saying maybe he doesn't fit the Fabian Hertzler mold, but if he can do that, then I'm really excited. So, yeah, we're in a good shape. We hope we can break that mold of not winning in London, and it starts with Saturday.
Yeah, no, I agree, Tyler. Yeah, Joe. It obviously can't have been easy. Obviously going into Europe, and obviously you need obviously a big squad. You know the numbers that even the bigger teams and the teams at that top of the league that are in Europe, and they're kind of saying sometimes like struggling for numbers, and with the resources that you've got, certainly at that time with the injuries as well. It'd have been a big ask anyway. So something's going to give, isn't it? And it end up being the Premier League, really, in all honesty, from that side. I think you started giving Europe a go, and then it just, like I said, the Roma game was,
I think we were so naive in that game. We went to win the game. What we should have done is just been resolute, got a draw, hopefully. Even a 2-1 loss would have been nice to take them back to the Amex, use that home crowd that we know we can generate sometimes, and really put some pressure on them. We played really well at the Amex. Obviously, all the pressure was off because we were 4-0 down. You're not expected to do anything. I know they maybe played a second string team, but we went out and beat them 1-0. We had a lot of chances. So, yeah, as I say, hindsight's an amazing thing, but it's something we can learn from. We can move forward. And if we get Europe again this season, we're in a much better position to tackle it again the season next.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a stepping stone, isn't it? Look, let's get your score prediction for the game. Your gut feeling, and who do you think will be the match winner for Brighton?
Yeah, I mean, I think I always have to go with my heart with a score prediction. I will go with a 2-1 win for Brighton. As I say, I think it will be a really tough game. You will score. We do concede chances, and maybe I'm going to change that. I think there'll be more goals. Let's say 3-2 to Brighton. I think you'll score more than one, and I think we'll maybe. Well, I hope we score more than you, but I know how much of a tough task that's going to be. I think the key player for us will be, as you mentioned, João Pedro, but I think I have to mention Yankuba Minter, who's coming from Newcastle, £33 million. He's a counter-pressing demon, and so expect him to run at your defence when you've got the ball. If you can beat our press, you'll probably have a good time. I hope that it falls our way. But yeah, as I say, tough game.
Yeah, no. I hope it's not 3-2, mate. You know, honestly, I'm there at the game, and to be honest, if it is 3-2, then I'm going to need a few more beers after that. I just want to do a quick little shout out in the chat room. Just Russ Morgan, evening lads. Emerson, evening Paul in the panel. A Brighton match will be a tough, and the key players are Matoma, Minef, and Adringer. And Paul, ACD will not play demoted to the under-21s. We're waiting for the loan bid for him. Because I do agree.
I've heard a couple of people in for him for a loan deal. I think it'll be good for him. He had a really good preseason, really, really good talent, very exciting. The ball seems to stick to his feet like Velcro. I'm very excited to see what he can do in the next few seasons. But we've got wingers galore.
I'm gutted he left. I really am. I saw him quite a few times for the under-21s and the youth team going through the youth cup, and well, gutted to see that he was leaving. But then, to see him go on loan again and maybe not staying with us again, it's just why did he do it? But it is what it is. Emerson, evening Joe from Albion Obsessed. So
no.
You're renowned on that side. So
Emerson joins our streams, and he's a really good lad. So it's good.
That's good. That's good. It's a small world, anyway. But look, Joe, it's been a pleasure to have you on, man. I know it's short notice as well.
No worries.
Good to make contact. So maybe the return game we'll have you back on, and we'll talk a bit more about football and the rest of the season. So I'm going to wish you good luck, but not too much. Saturday weekend. But we're going to dive into more Arsenal content now, so feel free to do something else with your life now and not get mind blown by or bored out your mind with Arsenal stuff. So yeah, thanks for coming on, mate, and good to have you on.
No problem, mate. Thanks for having me. More than happy to come on again and chat to you guys. Good luck for the rest of the season, not on Saturday. I just want to say I hope you win the league. I'm so bored of Man City. But yeah, don't win on Saturday. You don't want to do that.
No, that's it. All right, mate. Take care of yourself. Speak to you soon. See you later.
Bye.
Oh, wow. And that was that.
Wow.
A nice change, seeing a different perspective. What do you pick out of that one then? Come on, Ian. What thoughts from Joe? What do you think about the game? Are you thinking they're going to be?
Yeah, it was interesting to hear him talking about the difference between De Zerbi and the new manager, whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce. Like he was saying, De Zerbi was kind of a much more, slow build up and very, very tactical, whereas this new guy tends to be, or looks like he's a bit more, I suppose, direct. Not direct. I don't mean long ball, but getting the ball up the pitch quicker. Because we've been used to De Zerbi's Brighton for a couple of seasons now, and I still think it's a strange one that he went. I know things something was going on in the background, obviously, but it's strange that he went because he was doing so well with them. So yeah, it was interesting to hear him say that. The connection completely dropped on me when he was giving his prediction. Did he say 3-2 to Brighton? Was it?
So yeah, he's gone for it. Yeah, as I said, I'm going to need a few more drinks after the game. If that's the case.
If that was the case, yeah. But that was good. It's great to get an opposition fan's perspective, and he was very good. He was very articulate. So yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Yeah, so he does his own streams for Brian. So yeah, no, it's good. No, really good stuff on that side. David, starting lineups. That's going to be a buzz topic, isn't it? Really. What are we thinking?
It's probably going to be the same lineup. I mean, I'm not expecting that Mourinho to start. I don't know, because I know he came back from the Euros, obviously, because he played the whole Euros. I don't know if he's trained much at all. I don't think he was involved in any of their friendlies. Very associated. I mean, so I'm not expecting him to play, but I'm sort of basically expecting the same team, really. Yeah. I don't know what everyone else thinks.
Timber instead of Zinchenko?
Yeah, definitely.
Anyone else thinking different?
I think Trossard.
I wonder with Trossard as well. Yeah, I called you Terry earlier on, Tim. I'm sorry, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, it's not the one, but it's what you call we're sitting in the wrong order, actually, Terry. Just noticed.
That's why I called you.
Yeah, but anyway, I think Trossard looked a bit
He's very moody, isn't he?
Yeah, he looked a bit of nose, bit of a giant. So I think he'll start it. So yeah,
I actually read, Tim, that he is a difficult guy to handle.
Oh, is he?
Sort of well known for that.
I heard that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes and scores a goal, and then his face is like, just no emotion. I rate him. I think he's a cracking,
good player.
Cracking goal scorer, but he's got some attitude there.
Yeah. And like, if you think about, let's say they're talking, I saw a thing today, they're talking about like Mudryk, Martinelli, who's the other one, Hammer. Anyway, they listed a rake of white players, and I said Trossard is scoring a lot more goals than a lot of those lads. Like,
yeah,
Trossard gets a lot of goals. Like, he's not, his goals to game time, I'd say, must be very good. He's a good player from that point of view.
The thing is,
isn't it?
There's an argument to say to keep Trossard on the bench because he doesn't play as well as when he starts games.
Oh, yeah.
And because we know what his record's like from the bench. But the problem is Martinelli's so poor at the moment. I think you probably do have to bring Trossard in.
Yeah.
Emerson on the chat said Timber must start and Trossard over Martinelli. I think that's been a buzz. That's been a buzz topic since the Sunday show, wasn't it, Mark?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I would just echo the same. I think that I loved Trossard's attitude, and I said that on the Sunday show as well. I don't want him to be happy sitting on the bench. So I love the fact that he scored that goal and he was motionless and like, I'm too good to be on the bench, and I want that. And that's the only way that we'll get best out of Martinelli. So for me, I think that you cannot drop him. The two players that you really do need to watch out for Brighton, and I watched the game, James Milner, he must be going on 96, but honestly, he is still doing box to box. He was unbelievable at the weekend. And Billy Gilmore, as Joe picked up on, he should have had his move to Napoli. Napoli peeled out that and went for the other Scotsman, Scott McTominay, instead. Billy Gilmore was outstanding against Man United. Honestly, outstanding. So, yeah, I've just echoed what the guy said. There's nothing much. You can't change too much with Arsenal. We're doing great. The interesting start that you said about the amount of games that we haven't lost since the Villa game. If we hadn't lost that Villa game, could you imagine what that record would be?
Yeah.
Because we almost went the whole year. That's the only game that we've actually lost this calendar year.
Yeah.
It was it? Was Liverpool FA Cup? Was that January or was that? No,
January.
Yeah.
We've not lost. We only lost the Villa game since that one. So we only lost the Villa game since that. So for me, it is interesting. I do. The 3-2, I think he's been a bit ambitious coming up against an Arsenal side at home. I think enjoy your day, mate, but not that much.
Yeah, no, it's good. Like I say, good to hear his viewpoint on that side. So, yeah, I think the lineup itself. I'm more worried about the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper situation at the minute. We got probably an 18-year-old that's going to be sitting on the bench because obviously Ramsdale's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Hines already gone, and we've still not agreed to deal with Espanyol for this new keeper. So yeah, I'm just hoping. Certainly, Ray doesn't get clattered into or clobbered during the game. Otherwise, we've got a very raw goalkeeper coming in for a very important game.
Maybe Joe's score prediction was correct.
It's going to be interesting to see how the game transpires because it's. Yeah, if Brighton do come out looking and we've just don't hit the fast pace, then there's going to be trouble, isn't there? We've seen it before numerous times. If we don't start well and we kind of give them a foothold in the game, then that's where the danger comes. And I don't know. I'm still sitting on my splintered fence, kind of worried about a kind of bogey team that I'm not really sure if it's going to be a problem or not. I don't know.
I think that when you see what we did against Villa away, like we were all very nervous about Villa away, and what we did was we got the ball and literally just nearly stood on it. The defenders were just standing there, Raya when he had the ball, and we just slowed the game right down and we just did our passing and didn't let the crowd get in. And I think, and it's interesting with what Joe said about them Brighton will want to be fast paced and getting going that way. I think we'll just early doors get the ball, not go hell for leather, trying to score straight away, but we'll just take the air out of Brighton's ball, shall we say, and control the game from there. And once we do that, I think the goal will come. It'll just take a bit of time.
Yeah, it's a very good point, Ian. But the only thing I will say is that even though they did control the Aston Villa game really well, but like if Ollie Watkins was on form, could be a very different match. And like they,
Yeah.
well, I'm entering that stage of life now that where I'm very easily amazed by someone getting off the ground so quickly. So how David Rea got up to save the one is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Brilliant
It
save.
really was.
We haven't mentioned that, and obviously, it was obviously for the Sunday show, but that save was unbelievable.
Sensational.
Really. Emerson said goalkeeper for Saturday, Raya, Setford, and Okonkwo. Unfortunately, Okonkwo got sold or got released to Wrexham, didn't he? He was on loan at Wrexham. His contract run out. We didn't renew it, and then he went and signed on a free to go to Wrexham again. So it's just Setford.
Yeah. Like this, I'm shouting for him, and so is Tim. I don't know if you know this, Tim. You know this? Is it Tommy Setford? He calls himself. He was brought up in Holland, and his mum was Hogan.
Oh,
yeah, and
he's
often known as Tommy Hogan -Setford, and me and him are both Hogans. So that's it.
Look, the sooner Ray gets injured, the better. Bring him in.
Come on, Tommy, bring him in.
For a minute, I thought he was going to say Hulk Hogan. There you go.
I could finally have an Arsenal top on and have Hogan on the back, and it's not just me; it's the bloke in goal.
Oh my God! No, sorry, Emerson's just corrected me. I didn't realise he had a brother. Okonkwo. He had a brother.
You're right.
Two brothers playing in the youth setup.
Yeah, you're right.
No,
I stand corrected, Emerson. When I bow to your knowledge, I should never doubt you.
I wouldn't worry about it. Arteta will end up signing another 5 goalkeepers tomorrow, so we'll be fine.
I really shouldn't doubt you, Emerson. I'm sorry. So, yeah.
George Graham used to collect centre halves.
Yeah.
It looks like we're in the process of collecting goalkeepers.
I know. We're only in the hip bit. Chelsea had 8 goalkeepers. 8 goalkeepers.
Yeah, that's Chelsea for you.
And Chelsea lost tonight, by the way.
What did they?
2-1.
They got beaten 2-1. They still went through, but they got beaten 2-1.
Well, they were through Chelsea.
Wow.
How big are?
Oh, in Europe. It was their European game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a qualifier, yeah.
Mickey Mouse Cup.
I was about to say that. It's almost a qualifier for the Community Shield.
Yeah.
God. I think it's about time we do our predictions.
Very good.
Just give us a moment before Ian departs. Ian, can I just get a little while I'm getting this sorted? What are your thoughts on the Champions League group? Also, I can't mention group now because it's not a group. It's
it's literally a Champions League, isn't it?
European Super League.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy with it. I know there's going to be tough games in there. Although PSG, I don't think are what they used to be. Inter will still be tough. The Atalanta will be tough. They knocked Liverpool out of the Europa League last season.
Yeah.
They're a good side.
I
think we've gotten lucky. I think we've gotten lucky with the away games. Like we're only traveling to Italy, Portugal, and Spain. We avoided having to go to the Ukraine and Croatia, some of the further flung places. So that's good. We're going to meet a couple of ex-Arsenal players as well. We have Kolasinac, who plays for Atalanta, and Balogun as well, who plays for Monaco. So we'll see some old friends along the way. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with it because we avoided in pot 1, we avoided the big guns like Real Madrid and the likes of those. So yeah, I'm delighted with it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy or anything like that, but I'm very happy with it. Could have been a lot worse.
I mean, I was literally at the telly, like saying when Bayern Munich come up, we're playing Bayern.
Yeah.
Just like,
as is tradition.
Tradition, and luckily, we moved on. But the first knockout, we'll play Bayern Munich, 100%.
Yeah.
So I've still got I've got no points to give you at the minute. So everyone, you have to bear with it, and we will get the points going. Tim and Terry, you missed out on last week, but we're using the like a kind of goal difference situation. So we'll divide up from the weeks you do it.
Very good.
And you, if you got the higher ratio, you win. You don't win anything, but you
don't win
win.
like a season ticket or anything like that.
No,
No.
you get to. Well, they do get to win. They get to come in and the phone-in show on a Saturday beforehand and after the game.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
VIP guests, VIP guests at the Saturday shows.
Yeah. So if you two are free on a Saturday or before a game or after a game for 10 minutes or whatever, give your thoughts. Speak to Mark, and he'll get you on the shows to let you know.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Just while Paul's doing that, it's a quite interesting show. The pre-match went really well. It was myself and Mark done it, and we had a couple of calls, but it was good. And then straight after the game, the energy came from the callers. It was good, really good. So if any of you guys are ever free, just even for a phone in, even if you're outside the Emirates, if you've got 5 minutes before you just at any given point. Just it's not a phone in, it's the same as this, but do come on and get your atmosphere before the game.
I thought Mark Dunning was Jeff Stelling at one point, Ian. It was good, quite funny. There's me dialing up from the campsite, and then literally I'm talking to Jeff. So it was all good. So I think it'll be something that grows as the season goes on. But I'm going to go for the big one first of all. I've already got Emerson. He's gone 3-2 Arsenal. Yeah, he's gone 3-2 Arsenal. Tim, what is your score prediction?
2-1 Arsenal, I think. I won't give the goal score.
No. 2-1. What are your predictions, Ian?
I'm going to go 2-0. I think we're just going to win every game 2-0 this season, and the new invincibles. But yeah, no, 2-0. I think I'm thinking we're going to control the game. It won't be easy. Brighton, very good side, but I think we'll control the game and beat them 2-0.
Okay, Mark.
I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0. David?
I'm thinking we'll win 2-1. We'll come from behind and win 2-1.
Wow, interesting.
And Terry?
I'm going 3-0. Goal scorers, Havertz, Trossard, and Rice.
Oh.
I'd have forgotten those by the time Saturday comes, so I won't remember. I'll have to play back the stream. Next game, Brentford versus Southampton. I'll go Ian this time.
Oh, Brentford versus Southampton. I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford.
And I'll go Mark.
1-0 Brentford.
1-0. Oh. David?
1-0 Southampton. Ramsdale man in the match.
I thought you were going to say Ramsdale with the goal.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
That'd be something.
Go on, 2-0. I go for 2-0 Brentford.
2-0. And Terry?
Yeah, I'd love it to be 2-0 Brentford, but I've got an awful feeling that if Ramsdale's playing, is that poor bloke has had such bad luck.
Yeah.
He could well throw it into his own net, you know. But I'd love to see him keep a clean sheet. So let's say 2-0.
Okay. Emerson's gone 2-0 as well. Okay, Everton, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Tim?
For me? Oh, sorry. I'm going to say 1-1. Everton finally get a point.
I think it'll be Everton 0, I think Everton will probably lose 2-0, actually. Yeah. I've got a mate who's an Everton fan, and he's in desperate states. He said somebody threw a coin onto the pitch, the Everton pitch, in the last match, and people wondered, was it a hooligan or somebody thinking of buying the club?
Brilliant.
Mark?
It's funny because I had the result in my head before you came up. I'm going with Terry, 2-0.
32-0.
No, 2-0. Sorry, 2-0.
Jesus, 32-0. That's a bit.
Yeah. Just 2-0. Everton get beat again.
2-0 Douglas, 2-0 to Bournemouth, was it?
Yeah, 2-0 Bournemouth. Sorry, bro.
Okay. Ian, go for it.
I'm going to go 1-0 Bournemouth. Evan Nielsen's going to open his account, and Everton are going to be starting their going to start in their new stadium in the Championship next season.
Okay.
I think that's realistic.
It's looking like it.
Yeah.
Emerson, what are scores? He's gone for draws, but what are the scores? George Dawes. David, last one.
I think it'd be a draw. I can see like maybe 1-0, 2-2. Let's go for 1-1.
1-1. As Ian's going to dip off, let's do a quick fire on Ian. Ipswich Fulham.
Ipswich Fulham. Oh, I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham.
Leicester Aston Villa.
Leicester Aston Villa, did you say?
Yep, that's the one.
I think Villa will have too much for them. I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. I think Vardy might score or Leicester might get one, but I think Villa will do them.
Okay, Forest Wolves.
That's going to be a draw. I'm going to go 1-1.
Chelsea Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace to win 15-0. Chelsea Crystal Palace. See, Chelsea they're like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get with them. I am going to say, regrettably, I'm going to say 2-1 Chelsea.
I think
I just preferred that 15-0 score. Newcastle Tottenham.
Oh. I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle.
Oof. And Man United Liverpool.
12 red cards, lots of injuries, and yeah, that's all I care about. No, that'll be Man United put it up against Liverpool all the time. It's weird, even though they're not playing well. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw there.
2 draw. Nice, thank you, Ian. I think you need to dash off now, don't you?
Yeah, my apologies. I forgot to check my daughter.
Thank you for coming on, mate. Yeah, really appreciate it. Some good stuff. And hopefully have you on again very soon. And hopefully transfer windows kind to us all. But yeah, have a good evening.
And great to meet Tim. Great to meet Tim and Terry. And it's my first time on with David and fair play. And it's great to see you, Mark, as well. And yeah, we'll talk to you all again, dudes. Be good.
Lovely. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, lads, I've got to bow out now. Sorry about that. I'll go with whatever Tim says for the game.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah.
No matter.
Yeah, okay.
We'll double up.
Yeah, cheers.
Tim's gone 5-0. He's gone 5-0 every game. Okay. Come on then, let's fly through these. Ipswich Fulham, Tim and Terry.
I don't know. We're supposed to be doing a
What's that? Oh, is it up of you?
I'll let you know.
Thanks, sir. So what's score?
Get Terry to text me, and I'll add him on because you might stitch him up as a brother.
Yeah.
Let's go for you, Tim. Go. What's yours?
For which match? Which match?
Ipswich Fulham.
1-1. I think you're just going to get a point.
Okay. Mark.
2-1 Ipswich.
2-1 Fulham. David?
2-2.
Am I safe to open the door?
Oh, yeah.
Has Emerson got
I'm going to lock it.
a score down there for that? No, he hasn't. Chase him up. Okay, Leicester Villa.
Is that me?
Go on, Tim.
Let's 2-1. 2-1 to Villa.
Okay, Mark.
3-1 Villa.
And you, David.
4-1 Villa.
Oh. And then 3-0 Villa. Emerson. (3-1 Villa. Oh. No one cares about Leicester. Forest Wolves. Go on, fire some names at me. Oh,
I'm going to go 3-3.
don't fire names at me because that'll be crazy.
I'm going to go 3-3 because both teams are just horrendous. So I think it'll be an open game.
3-3. Okay, we got in Tim.
2-1 to Forest.
Okay, David.
2-1 Wolves.
I think Emerson was 2-1 Wolves as well, wasn't he? Chelsea Crystal Palace now. Go for you, David.
3-0 Chelsea. But I'm hoping I'm wrong and Eddie scores a hat-trick.
3-0 Chelsea. Mark?
3-2 Chelsea.
And Tim?
Yeah, go. I'm going to go 3-1 for Chelsea, yeah.
Okay. Newcastle Tottenham. Tim?
Oh, 2-2.
Okay, Mark?
3-1 Newcastle.
David?
4-0 Newcastle.
Oh.
Nobody cares if we get points off any team that's against the Spurs.
Come on, you know you'd love that. 4-0, come on.
Oh, yeah.
We would.
Is that Tottenham winning 3-1 or is that Tottenham getting beat 3-1 and Son just gets the one goal? Emerson.
I think it's 3-1 Tottenham because he's been doing it every game.
Yeah.
Tottenham to win 3-1, Son for the goal scorer.
Okay, Manchester United. It's in a game, aren't I? Who are Man City playing?
You've got West Ham.
God.
Away.
None of you have even said about it either. It's almost like they've been charged. I'm going to message you all individually and I'll get that score for that one because it will really kind of. Let's go Man United, Liverpool. Come on in, Tim.
1-1.
I'm going to go 2-1 Man United. Mark?
4-0 Liverpool.
Jesus.
I was thinking of going 7, but I thought better read it in a bit.
David?
2-1 Man U.
Emerson, I'm going 3-1 for Liverpool. I believe he has to message me and let me know. Tottenham win. He has got that. Right, okay. I'll go on this. Quickly do West Ham, Liverpool, Man City. Come on then. Tim, let's fire through.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 to Man City.
5-0 Man City.
Don't bring me
down.
down.
Horrendous.
5-0. Oh, blimey. Not really helping my mood.
I know.
I've gone 3-1. Yeah, Ian. Oh no, obviously Ian's not here. David.
Ian went 9-0 Man City.
I'm going 2-1 West Ham.
Oof. Coupon buster. And Emerson had 3-1, I think, didn't he? Yeah. Bournemouth for Emerson was 2-2. Okay, that is that. Thank God for that. I'll get Ian's one later. So that's another week. That's game week 3 booked in and loaded. You can't make any changes now. So yeah, back to Arsenal. Shifting gears to Champions League draw. An interesting draw, wasn't it? David, let's go with you.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the draw actually. Something different. And all the teams we've got, I'm quite confident we can go through, no problem. Into away, let's just do another 5-1. PSG, be hard, obviously, but they're not as good. I think Mark mentioned earlier on, they're not as good as they used to be. So I'm quite happy, very happy with it.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
I'll tell you, they're talking about they're trying to avoid dead rubbers, but then I say you do see some of the teams and you suddenly think, well, they are pretty. I know there's going to be still something to play for because it's always it's a league system, so we've always got something. There's jeopardy there, but the quality of teams, I don't think, obviously, is improved because they've allowed more to come in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Tim?
Yeah, I think it's draw is good. Like, there's no colossal team in it. Now, I would say the likes of Atlanta and Girona are there's potential they could be banana skins, but still you'd fancy Arsenal to beat both of them now. I'm saying that, and PSG are like, they've been underperforming in the Champions League for a long time now. Look, Inter Milan away seems to be the hardest of the fixtures. It's just as far, like, I know now going to. There's a lot of going to Portugal mightn't be so easy, but I still think that Inter Milan fixture is the biggest fixture, and all the other fixtures I could definitely going to get a point and possibly 3 out of a lot of them. Like, I think so. Overall, it's a very, very favourable draw, I'd say, for Arsenal.
Yeah. Mark.
Yeah. The draw, to go back to the draw, I remember sitting my accounts degree, and honestly, I had like more chance of getting through that than understanding that draw in any kind of way whatsoever. It was shambolic, absolutely shambolic. I'm going to watch it back just to see if I've missed something, but it was a funny thing. But the league table itself seems exciting, and I don't think there will be dead rubber games because the top 8 teams obviously skip around. So the top 8 teams just miss that. And then your next, 9 to 24, down to 24, the next 16 teams basically have to go into like a playoff to get into that. So you want to be in that top 8. So it's going to make it interesting, the balance between Premier League and shuffling between the two, and you really will need 2 really good squads to face this, because if you don't, I mean, you would fancy Arsenal at the worst case scenario, we're going to get into the playoff to get out of that. But however, the top 8 would be the best scenario. The draw itself, I'm excited for Inter Milan. Like, as soon as that came out, I had flashbacks to Thierry Henry. I'm sure Wall did when he went over there, and I think Henry got a hat trick that night. That was amazing. So I'm looking forward to that game. PSG wouldn't write them off. They've just signed what's his name? That young guy, Portuguese guy. Oh, what's his name? Leao.
Leao.
No, not Leao. No. Everybody's after him. I've lost his name. Neves. Yeah, Neves. He's absolutely, he's a wonder kid. So they've signed him. They've got an amazing midfield. So I don't think that game will be easy at all. And Atalanta, they are difficult. As David said, I think it was David that said that. They knocked out Liverpool. So yeah, very interesting. But all the games should be like, we're going to need to go for it in every game to make sure we're in that top 8.
Yeah, it'd certainly be interesting to see what, or certainly how the calendar works with what games placed where, which we'll find out on Saturday. Tim, with the fact that those Champions League games are going to be coming thick and fast, how do you think Arteta will manage the squad? Will he rotate heavily, or?
Oh, I'd say he mightn't rotate heavily, but I'd say it'd be interesting to see. Like, he hasn't really played that. I'm going to call it Calafaro, the new Italian guy. Anyway, he hasn't got him in yet. Jorginho hasn't played much, as he played at all, really. I saw Reece Nelson come on the last. He has a reasonably. He has 4 or 5 players he's used. Not really at all, really, at this stage. So he'll bring all those in. Now, he's, like you said, the goalkeeper thing, he wants to get that resolved. Well, he wants to have another goalie, because you going into all these matches, you're going to definitely put a certain amount of rotation. But I'd say he won't rotate that much the central players. Like, he's going to have those 5 with Odegaard, Rice, Saliba, Gabriel. They're going to play, I'd say, a lot of those nearly all those matches, and particularly the earlier rounds of it. So then, obviously, after a couple of rounds, the table will take kind of a general shape, and maybe you might be able to predict, well, we're going to be the top 8, or we're going to be the next, 16. And Joe, when you're how would I say, when your fortune is known in these things, then there'll be a lot more rotation, or there'll be fixtures targeted and things like that. But I'd say the earlier rounds, he'll definitely play a strong team, just to see just to get off on a good footing, and then see where they're going to go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good points. David, Arsenal's depth across the multiple competitions that we're probably going to have to go through, because I think everyone's agreed now we've got to start seeing something at the end of the season. So a trophy, a cup win, or whatever. Do you think we've got the depth to compete on all those fronts, or will the Champions League be a bigger challenge than we actually expect or anticipate?
I don't mean to sound negative, but I think if we want to compete with the Champions League and the Premier League, I just don't think we've got enough players in still. I think if once Eddie goes, I don't think we've got enough up top. I think we need at least 1 player there, probably 2, to cover Saka as well. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see we've got the strength and depth. Not especially now the Champions League, you're playing more games, and it's like, is it Terry? What Terry said about strength and depth as well. Well, I mean, he's not going to be able to do it, is he? As much as we were hoping to do, because he doesn't like doing that anyway. And over the last couple of years, but we have to, because otherwise everyone's just going to be burnt out, especially after the Euros, and we'll have to wait and see. But especially because there's eight games. That's just, I think I saw something said on the podcast the other day. For us to win the Champions League, I think it might be something like 18 or 19 games. That's just the Champions League. And when you're right, we do need to win something this season. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is.
Emerson raise another point. Yeah, the ballot will be interesting, as they'll all be Category A prices. It'd be interesting to see. I haven't actually reviewed that or confirmed that, but I know they did do that previously. But yeah, it'd be very interesting them trying to charge Category A for a pot.
I mean, do you three guys? Do you think we've got enough strength and depth if the team stays as it is now?
I think we need one striker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We've got 20
striker, Champions League or no Champions League, they need a striker.
Yeah, we've got 23 players, but one of them's first team players, but one of them is Kieran Tierney, who I would imagine will be sold, so we'll be down to like 22. And I think if you're in 4 competitions, you need more than that, and you need quality in there as well. So for me, I would still, no disrespect, I'd like to see Reece Nelson leave. Jesus getting used. Nobody's going to sign Jesus. He's injury prone. I believe we're paying him 275 grand a week. Who's going to take him on? So we'll have to stay with him. So for me, he's goes up to the right wing, and you bring in a proper striker. And I think we're badly needing it. But we do have two men for every position. So we need that sorted, and obviously we need Garcia sorted if Ramsdale's leaving. So.
Yeah. So if you look at 23 now, so we've got 23 now. Ramsdale goes, Nketiah goes. That's down to 21.
No, that's 23 without them. That's 23 with saying Garcia comes in and Ramsdale goes because.
This is before the signings.
Yeah,
I'm looking at this now. If that deal doesn't come in, then. At the minute, as we've got it, the 23 includes Nketiah and Aaron Ramsdale.
It doesn't. I'll go for it. I could do it really quickly off the top of my head because I had this down. Say Ramsdale goes, it'll be Rhea, Garcia. Then we'll have Ben White right back.
Yeah, I'm talking right this minute. This is what I'm saying. There's no guarantee that we're going to pay the money to get Garcia. So Ramsdale.
Then Ramsdale will not go.
I just heard Arsenal now after Neto from Bournemouth because they can't get Garcia.
Well, the Bournemouth have just signed another goalkeeper, haven't they?
Might be why they're after Neto.
Yeah, well, interesting. But as I said, this is what I'm saying. At this current time, you look at it like that, and you think we've got 23 players at the minute in our squad without the youth players. Nketiah, Ramsdale being 2 of those. Tierney being a 3rd. Obviously, he's injured, so that leaves 20 players. And as I said, if you're going through that season with those numbers. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a long season, isn't it, for them? Certainly with those the amount of games that are going to be going on in the Champions League. If we pick up those players as 2 players, then great. It's going to help us. But yeah, I'd still like to see 2 or 3. But I just don't think we're going to get 2 or 3 in this short time. But who knows? Who knows? There might be a rabbit pulled out of the hat. I don't know. How much business do you reckon we're going to do tomorrow?
Nothing.
No?
Not ingoings anyway. Not ingoings.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think there's going to be 3. I think Arsenal are going to surprise us.
Because it's last day tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah.
11 o'clock tomorrow night.
I don't see 3 players coming in. I hope I'm wrong.
I think we'll get a goalkeeper. I was seeing reports that were linked to Ivan Toney and same way we're still trying our hardest to get Nico Williams.
We shall see. I don't know. Yeah, we just lost Tim for the evening. Tim, thanks for coming on. Yeah, good to have you on again. Yeah, it's a bit of a long one today. Yeah, quite a lot to go through. So yeah, I can't think what we're going to do. In all honesty,
I'm worried about it. I am. It's just not enough strength and depth. I mean, Jesus is always injured. I mean, all we got then is Havertz and probably maybe Trossard. You're looking at strongly.
Yeah, we're badly needing a striker. There's no doubt of that whatsoever.
yeah, and this is what I think potentially you've not seen. Obviously, Ketty is supposed to have had his medical now, supposed to have been done dusted, but it's not been made official. So my guess, I don't know, is it normal to think potentially it's all done dusted, but then if we don't get anyone, we then suddenly pull the plug on it and we suddenly keep him?
That could happen. That could happen. But Paul, I'm like everybody else because this is Arsenal Football Club, and we always do this. We always do this. We always say that we're going to have an amazing window. We start this window, we could just go over that final stretch, and we've suffered as fans. We have, but I cannot get my head around why would Kroenkes go this far into a project to stop now? 4.5 years into a project, we're right on the brink. Why would you stop now? And that is giving me hope that is the case. And either Edu has peeled off the best bit of PR in Arsenal history, or he's telling the truth and he's going to get the flack from the fans. But he came out the night before the third strip got launched and said, "Be patient, you won't be disappointed." Now, if I get to 11 o'clock tomorrow night and we've done nothing, he's going to feel it from me. And I've never criticised Football Club. I back Arteta, I do everything. But the pressure will be on Edu massively. So,
Yeah.
and I won't be the only one. I think that the general feeling online is the exact same. And I'm sure the match-going fans will be the exact same as well.
Yeah, I think the match-going fans are a little bit more cordial in how they respond. We know Twitter blows up. We know the online fan base blows up like just like horse shit. It just goes mental.
Yeah.
We're very reactionary, aren't we? As a fan base, it's I don't know. I don't. Sometimes I don't get the overreaction, but again, I look at this season and we know where we suddenly say, yeah, well, just don't overdo it. Don't panic so much. But you then you have that chance to even close the gap a little bit more, to increase on what we've got. Yeah, if we're selling players and we're stripping players out to then create space, wages as well as space in the squad, we've got to fill the numbers, haven't we? We've got to do the numbers, and
but that's
look at it, and nothing comes in. Then you're suddenly like questioning, well, how has it got to this point? Have we been let down on certain individuals? Have they said they're going to come, but then all of a sudden they're not, or they've given up? And I think Nico Williams was one that apparently said that he wants to stay at Bilbao for another year. Was that potentially one that was given maybe as I want to come, and then all of a sudden he's just had second thoughts and done it, and then we're suddenly then saying, I don't think it's worth a risk to maybe go and get a second or a third choice. I don't know, but that position that they're trying to recruit for, and that's being either on the left or the right. Certainly, the right is a very awkward one to be recruiting for, isn't it? Because you're trying to get someone that's going to come in, that is going to hit the ground running, going to be showing unbelievable quality, but happy to be an understudy.
It's like the
Saka.
goalkeeper as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, and this is where I'm on the other side of the fence with this. See, if we sell Ramsdale and Eddie, and we buy Garcia, then we would have spent this summer a grand total, and this includes David Raya, 120 million. We've taken in over 100 million in transfer fees. I think there's something like an 18 million deficit between what we brought in and what we spent. So if Arsenal Football Club think 18 million spent is enough to get us past Man City, and it's not about money, obviously, it's about the quality of players that we bring in. But I want to see our football club go to the next level. And if that next level is bringing a right winger, not to be an understudy at Saka, go and bench Saka or make Saka better. So push Saka so he's better. And this guy's on the bench. And that's what I'm looking for now, Paul. It's not an understudy to people. I'm looking for game changers. And it's time the football club done it, mate. 21 years we've had to put up with this. And I'm not going to...
When we're talking about Saka, to get someone better than, say, Saka, is getting someone better than Saka a priority in our current crop?
No, I think it's getting someone that can score goals is like the main priority. So that's just for me. I think Jesus is not going to push Havertz out the side. Havertz will not have to drop in the midfield because we've got plenty of cover. So he will be our main striker next season. Jesus will pick up more injuries. We know that. And even if Jesus is up top, he's not going to score us goals. No, So as I say, sorry, I'm speaking too much, but that's why I think Jesus is that guy where he won't bench Saka. We know he won't, but there's your ready-made replacement, if you know what I mean. You can just push him out there. He played there for Man City, and then you bring in a real quality striker.
Yeah, well, this is the argument, isn't it? It's a case of who, like I said, who you bring in, who's going to suit the style, who's going to suit the way we play. Look, David, if I'm correct in thinking, even say Osman now, I'm seeing the warnings just like Mudrich all over. I think he's a proven player, and I'm sure he'll probably do well. But as soon as someone like Chelsea comes flying in with ridiculous pot of money and totally messes up the whole kind of the landscape of any potential negotiations, then I'm out. They've done it before. They've done it in 2007, 6, didn't they? When Abramovich first come in, blew us out of the water with signings. Sean Wright Phillips, all the players, free players that we were on. And that kind of makes me say I don't want to be then trying to compete with the Joneses and just trying to make something right because Chelsea have come in for him and chuck in whatever money, because obviously he's got a very good offer in Saudi. Chelsea coming in saying, I'll just chuck in 300, 400,000 pounds.
They Chelsea just buy players for the sake of it, basically. Just stop. It seems sometimes just to stop us, other teams buying them. Or I'm starting to wonder: are they stocking up all their players because they know they've got a band coming or something? You know, it wouldn't surprise me. How many players have they got? Is it like 45 or 50 or something? And you counted earlier on. We've got like 21 or something.
Yeah,
it's
mental.
I heard the other day they're after Tony. Well, of course they are. I actually like Tony, even though 28 years old. He's got something about him I like, but I just thought if Arsenal wanted the striker, they would have known this at the beginning of the transfer window, right? And they haven't bothered. It's normally some kind of rumours out there. There's just not enough. We've just not got enough rumours out there, so I just don't think they're bothered about a striker. And with selling Eddie, you thought they've got to be getting someone in. They know Jesus is always injured. So what are they planning? I'm just confused.
I just think whether or not he's still stuck in this mind. Don't know if you think this, Mark, as well. Arteta still thinks, or he's in that mindset that same as what Guardiola was feeling. We can go for a season. We can do it all without a striker. We don't need a proper striker because we've got midfielders, attacking midfielders, popping up with goals, and then getting say 15 goals a season each all across. And if you've got those kind of going on through like 4, 5, 6 players, then you're not really missing that 20, 30 goal striker. I don't know what you think to that.
No, 100%. I mean, he has got this mindset like Pep, where it's this kind of false nine, and it brings out the better play, and you've got more possession, etc. And we can't be too critical because we actually scored our record number of goals last season, so you're quite right within that. But surely you can see that you need a plan A and a plan B. And I'm not saying that we need to bring a striker in to be like a false nine. I'm not wanting that. I do want like my ideal thing would be to have like an Isak, like an Osman, Tony ever take him as well, and I'd be linked with him. But I want someone just to be in the penalty box, Paul. I don't want this build-up play. I want, like, if we are 70 minutes into the game and we're losing 1-0 or we're 0-0 and we need to get a goal, that we could take Havertz off if that's the case and bring on this player, and he's going to stand in the box and we're going to cross the ball, like do the build-up and cross the ball, and he's on the end of it. And I just want that something different up front. So
I just don't think we're ever going to be playing that. I don't care if we've got a Peter Crouch or we've got a Giroud in there. I don't think we'll ever be playing that kind of way, or that kind of get the crosses in and be, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you know what it was? It's the Aston Villa game last season when we're 1-0 down. I think it was 82, 83 minutes gone. And we're pulling Reece Nelson and Eddie Nketiah off the bench to try and turn that game around. It's like serious, like, no disrespect, but Eddie Nketiah, a good luck to him, I think he'll bang, and I think he is a 1 goal in every 2 game striker. Once he gets playing, I think he'll do really well. But he just did not fit our style of play in any kind of way. But sometimes you just have to be a bit more direct. And especially with the amount of goals that we score from like set pieces and that, we have a proper striker, a proper number 9 in that box. That could only add up to even more. So maybe I'm just being selfish, but we're so close, Paul. We're so close.
Yeah, no, I say it's the last dregs of the window. And I'm sure there's going to be something out there. It's going to be another one that's going to come in and suddenly say we've made an approach for someone. And again, it's either going to be somewhere that you're going to just chuck a load of money at it that no one's really kind of going after.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, go on.
I've got a sneaky feeling they're going to try and give Chelsea some money for Sterling.
It's free transfer.
I want it to be a free transfer.
They want to get rid of him, don't they?
They're terminating his contract tomorrow.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Are they?
I wouldn't.
Oh.
Yeah, but we're already linked on.
Staunchly, I wouldn't be, because I don't think he is a real bad egg. I don't think he's a proper troublemaker. I wouldn't be adverse to it because, again, it's a player with experience and there is something there with him. And as I said, there was something I said to Mark earlier, was Arteta was credited with realigned Sterling and his way of playing under Arteta, and he credited under Pep, and he credited Arteta for putting in the time with him to make him better. But yeah, I don't know. Hindsight's a good thing, isn't it? I mean, to think afterwards, once it's done, and you're suddenly thinking, well, we thought about it a few times with a player coming in from a rival, whatever.
Yeah.
A couple haven't worked out, but all of a sudden, a couple have worked out. If it plugs a gap for a year or whatever, we might get him under contract. We might sell him.
True.
You never know. You might get that kind of little bit of value, paying his wages and whatever. That's your little outlay, and then all of a sudden, you've got a little value, and you've sold him on somewhere else, and you might be willing to take the cut on what he's done. But if that target's not on, like I said, they might have been told that Williams was not available. If that was their number one choice, or he was going to stay, and they've then had to then suddenly say, well, okay, well, we're going to have to go and look elsewhere. Are those players still there? And what the situation is. But I don't think we're in a position to panic and start just chucking money on players that potentially we're not 100% sure on. Through any reason. We could say we had targets, we had lists drawn up before the summer. These are who we need. But again, circumstances change. And throughout that period, whatever, other teams come in for them, whatever, things happen. And so does shit. You know what I mean? It's one of those. It's just like Chelsea coming in and chucking in money for one of our targets. If they're silly enough to pay X amount for another striker on top of the 5 that they've already got, you know what I mean? It's you're not competing in a normal real world in the end of the day. And Chelsea will have their comeuppance upon it as well. At some point, they're going to get it done, and it'll be quite funny. Oh. Yeah, absolutely terrible. But we need to make signings 100%, but.
Because it's like Mark said, we're so close. We are so close.
We are so close, but it does question whether or not. I'm still thinking even Wanyeri, and you're even thinking about the role that he may have coming in, and you're suddenly thinking, is he going to be used a bit more? Obviously, Vieira going as well.
He has to be. There's nobody else.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like, well, you've got him there now, and you're suddenly thinking, well, he could possibly play on the right. He could play around Odegaard. He's got the feet and he's got the ability to do it. So I don't know, but I think Marino's going to be a very good signing. And from what I've read and what I've heard about people talking about him and that, I think we're going to be surprised by how good he could be. So that might be a godsend as well. It frees up a little bit of pressure on Partey, so hopefully Partey can stay fit as well. So the rotations on that side, it's just now making those forward, or the amount of forwards that we've got, just tick as we've got. I don't think Nelson's going to now be going. I think he'll be staying at least till January. And then, just making sure that we keep the others nice and wrapped up in between games. But, I don't know. The jury is out, as they say, I think, until tomorrow. But that's...
See the last thing on the Sterling thing. See, since we bought Willian from Chelsea, it almost feels like we're back to being a retirement home again for Chelsea players. And when you're this far into your project, I'm trying to look at it from both sides. So when you're looking at it from the fan side, it's like, well, why are we not upgrading that to our own players and our own superstars moving forward, rather than taking someone that has been around the block, and I think he's 30-year-old in December. So from the fan side, you've got that, but then from the club side, if you look at it, if, as you said, Paul, if it's a year, is Sterling better than Reece Nelson? And if the answer to that's yes, then we're upgrading.
Yeah.
So it's there is a kind of hard balance. As fans, we're just so close, as we said, and these are not the links that we want to see, but if it does happen, then we'll have to go for it. It's not one personally I would be thrilled over. I certainly wouldn't be going out and buying an Arsenal top with Sterling on the back of it.
No.
Mason Mount instead.
The good thing that was raised on the chat the thoughts about getting Neto. Well, there's two things. Obviously, Neto, 35 years old. It'll be a very short-term fix for us. The reason why I think they've been fully in on Garcia is his age. You question, you're going in for a goalkeeper at 23 years old. He's got, from what I've read and I've seen, he's got very good attributes as a goalkeeper. Good with his feet, agility. He's commanded in the box. All stuff again that will develop as he gets older as well. And with game time playing, that he's going to get stressed because he's playing at a high pace. He will learn. He will improve, and all these little things make me suddenly think, well, that's an investment. When you talk about he is potentially a young David Raya, and you're thinking David Raya is 27, is he? 27, 28? Coming up to 28?
Yeah.
So you think
perfect. It would be perfect.
If he stays there for 5 years and he's in his 30s, you've then got this guy flooring at him to try and take over as number one. And you're suddenly thinking he's at that age now, and you're suddenly thinking, well, there's competition there, and there's long-term competition as well. So that's my take on it. I think when people say about, I can't believe they're paying 20 million for a reserve goalkeeper, it's like, well, look,
they want 30.
You're 20, 25, well, whatever, 20 euro or 25 euro. It was, and they want the 30, and it's, well, sometimes you have to pay for talent and certainly for a long term as well. But it also means that you're not stuck on a 18-year-old, or we've got two 18-year-olds, haven't we? We've obviously got the guy from Ajax, which we spoke about earlier. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Tommy.
And then we've got I think it's a Norwegian from Nordland, was it? Another 18-year-old we signed. I think it was either a Danish or a Norwegian 18-year-old. And we've signed him as well. So it's two goalkeepers that we've signed 18 years old. So you look at it like that and you think, well, yeah, all right, you could save 25 million or whatever. But again, is it the money? It's not.
Do you know what? I don't know if you've noticed or not, but what they done with Garcia's contract was they had a clause in it. He's got a release clause, but the release clause jumped up an extra 10 million if you entered into the last 10 days of the transfer window.
Yeah.
And we bid it 2 days before. So I think Arsenal tried to pay the previous fee thinking it's all good, and it's not at all. So, but for me, honestly, I know that Ramsdale's not going to be happy. I would just keep it Ramsdale.
I think it won't go through, Mark. I think they might not let it go through if they can't get a keeper.
Yeah,
they might stop it. They might not. I think Paul said earlier on about Eddie. That might not go through if we don't get an attacker. I mean, I think Eddie one will go through, but I can see the Ramsdale one falling through.
I would just put a stop to it.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
bet
he's
you-
under contract. He's under contract.
Exactly.
He's under contract. You've got. You could potentially say, or you could, as the expression was, you could rough ride. You could rough ride through until January, and you could suddenly hope and pray that nothing comes up until then, and then suddenly go full wham into a transfer window where not many teams will want to sell, and then you'll be paying more of a premium for players in that. But yeah, I think both deals have gone too far in to pull them out. To go back on it, I think would certainly destabilise probably both players. Obviously, Ramsdale not making the England squad as well probably hasn't really helped it. His feelings probably towards a move. He needs to play and he needs to show himself what he can do because now is the time. Same with Eddie. At the end of the day, if he starts playing and starts banging in goals, then there's a position up top for England for a striker that is scoring goals. I'm not saying Eddie is that one, but he's certainly putting his name on the manager's lips, and just he wants to play, he wants to do it. I just look at it now. I just think, well, something's got to happen. It's probably going to be a short-term fix because something obviously has happened.
Yeah, I was just going to say, see if Nelson doesn't leave and we don't bring in anyone at all for the right-hand side, Arteta has to play him. Do not have him on the bench for 6 games and bring him on with 8 minutes to go and think he's going to change the game for you, because he's not going to do that. And honestly, and I think all the fans should be. Arteta's like God for me. I think he's honestly the job he's done is amazing, but I will be critical. That's a one side to Arteta that he definitely needs to learn more. But you can't just.
I've said the one thing he hasn't found the trust in the whole of his squad. Certainly the last 2-3 years, and whether or not the 2 years before last year had really made him guarded on that side of things, and kind of messed his head and just kind of said, I've got to stick with my number one team. And then all of a sudden, you're then suddenly thinking last season, he probably could have done a bit more. He could have started rotating around. This time is now a given, and I'm hoping obviously someone in the team, the coaching staff has said, we've got to start. Show him the stats. Show him these players haven't played. They've not played 10 games. They've not done this. They've not had these minutes. When they have come in, they've played 3 minutes here and there. They've got to be used. They've got to be involved. Otherwise, it's pointless. It's like me or you going out there at time. Maybe not. It's probably a little bit better. But you know what I mean. It's coming in really cold, and it's like Nketiah. You're chucking on Nketiah for 10 minutes, and you're saying, "So go make something happen." It's like, well, how much time has he spent on the pitch? In reality, when you're suddenly not played for 3, 4, 5 games, then
that's what I love. Yeah, I laugh at this with the online fan base, and it is the online fan base, but with Eddie Nketiah, don't think that he's absolutely hopeless. But not last season, was it the season before? Jesus went out injured, and Eddie actually got a run of games, and he scored 5 or 6 goals in a very short period of time. He's not hopeless at all. He's a good young kid and model professional as well. For me, he's not a presser, so he doesn't suit Arteta's system. So I just feel that these guys do need game time. They need game time. And if you look at Smith Rowe, he's getting game time. He's had a good pre-season. He's left to go to Fulham, and he's first couple of games he's had the ground running. So there is players in these players. We just need to play them. So it's only criticism I could have Arteta. I think he's amazing, but he does need. He needs to have trust in the squad.
You do wonder. Looking at just watching Smith Rowe playing for Fulham, and you're suddenly just thinking, well, and Arteta alluded to himself and said, yeah, it's like that moment. It's like, well, have I failed him? Have I not got the best out of him? And it's like, well, sometimes you look at it and you think, well, yeah, again, was it the trust? Could you not trust him? Did you think he was going to just fall down again and the fitness will be a cropper? You know what I mean? That's where you got the trust as well. If you've got someone that keeps getting injured or whatever like that, you try.
Help, is it?
You don't help, and that's what it clouds your mind, and you suddenly, you take off someone else for him, and then he goes down or whatever, and then you're bringing on a 17-year-old or whatever in midfield.
That's a strange one for me though, because I thought Vieira was blocking Smith Rowe from getting back in to the side. So we've sold Smith Rowe, decided to keep Vieira, and all of a sudden we've won Vieira out. And what we've done, we brought a 17-year-old to come in and replace two of them. I'm not saying that Ethan's brilliant, and like I hope he gets plenty of minutes this season, and this could be our next Saka. Not our next Saka, it'll be our next Ethan. But it's just you're going for a title, and this is the kind of movement. It's just doesn't make sense.
No, well, I got caught with the Vieira. I didn't see that one coming.
Nor did I.
At that point, it was very quiet, and then all of a sudden, it just out of the blue, bang! It was like, oh yeah, come in for a loan on it. It was like, and then it was so quick fire as well. It was one of those deals we were literally done in a day. But yeah, gutting to see Smith Rowe go. But as I say, Ranieri's obviously shown huge amount of potential as a player with his development, and you have to make that pathway, I suppose, at the end of the day, and you've got to allow him to suddenly try and grow into it as well. So you're going to give him that thing. I mean, now it's up to him now to show he can then just progress and just push up that next rung and go up. If he doesn't, then that's where the manager will start going, we need to get someone else in. So definitely think we need a striker or certainly another attacking player along the left-hand side.
Yeah.
That could also potentially play on the right as well. So a versatile player that could go left or right. And as I said, that player could score between 12 and 16 goals in a season, then that's another one. If you got, well, put it this way, Trossard scored, what was it? How many was it he scored last season? 14? Top of my head.
Yeah, I think it was 13. No, that's Havertz. I think Havertz was 13 with 7 assists. I'm not sure Trossard's off the top of my head.
But as I say, it's one of those, it's just you're sharing out goals and you're making sure that
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We scored so many goals last season. So yeah. I don't think we're going to be as free from injuries as we were last season. Again, something's going to turn around and buy us. It sometimes goes in waves as well. You could have about 2 or 3 years where you don't have any injuries. Do you remember when we used to just take the mick out of Tottenham in the 90s? Darren Anderton, all their players, they'll be all like flipping sick note. They'll be on like the treatment table all the time. We'd just be laughing. All our players are all fine, no injuries. Then you're seeing sick note on the bench all the time, and you're just like laughing. And then it was all of a sudden it suddenly turned around and hit us, and then all of a sudden the others started like not having injuries. So you look at it and just think, I don't know, it's frustrating, but you're so close, but you're also so far as well.
Yeah.
Because again, you've got to make things align and balance, and then from the players that we've left out or got rid of, to then bring players in, you've allowed us space to try and improve or increase the quality, but we haven't got that quality because we haven't got the numbers and that player coming in. So in theory, we've weakened ourselves. So
I'm going to be relieved on Saturday morning that the transfer window shut. Honestly, I'm going to be relieved. It's just done.
Yeah, well, that's me every single year. When you look at it, you think I don't want to stress out. I don't want to. Whatever gets done, and I still have a huge belief in what we've got as well as a club. I think we've got a cracking set of players. We just have to we just have a little bit of lady luck on our side, and hopefully we can band through the season without too many issues. Certainly on the injury front, and then, as I say, you have that second win to go again in January and reevaluate it, I suppose. But yeah, there's either some unknown that's going to happen, or there's going to be a couple of short-term fixes.
Yeah.
I'm talking of like David Luiz's one, wasn't it? It was a little loan sign, wasn't it? What was it? No, did we buy him outright?
Yeah, we bought him outright. 20. I
We bought
can't
him.
remember if it's 20 or 10 million. I think it's 10
Who
million.
did we get on loan? We got someone on loan. I don't know. It's not worth thinking
See,
about.
the last short-term fix actually worked, and it was J20, Jorginho.
Yeah,
And he still probably got a new
We
contract.
bought him, didn't we? Yeah, we bought him.
Yeah, he was only
Yeah, we
about
bought
10.
him.
I think it was
10
about
million or
10
something.
million. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Elmeni went out injured, and he was meant to be the replacement for Elmeni because he obviously went out injured.
Yeah.
And that was at the time we were trying to get Casado, and the fan base had a meltdown. And 6 months later, we buy Declan Rice. It kind of says it all. But yeah, you're right, Paul. It's possible that a couple of short-term fixes, but I just hope I still want the club to go for it tomorrow. I really do.
Yeah, I think they owe it from what they've done and the strides they've taken to improve the quality. Look, I think we'll leave it till tomorrow night when we come back for the. Dave, are you around tomorrow? 9 o'clock.
What's tomorrow? Friday. Might be. Yeah, after.
Yeah, we got the deadline day show the last couple of hours. Yeah, so we're just gonna sit here and probably just be
quiet
and be drown our sorrows probably. So you're more than welcome to come on if you're free. If
Thank
not,
you.
don't worry. I'm not sure you missed much. But we hope. But look, I think it's been a real good show. You know, honestly, I'm gonna round it up at just under 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, having the other side of the game with Joe, I think that was a really good addition to the show. I think it's nice just to see how others see things and talk about football, and it's quite good. But we know how frustrating this is as well, because this has overtaken Champions League to everything. So I thank everyone for watching the show. Some good numbers, I think, through the show. So, Mark, thank you very much, mate, for coming on.
Anytime, mate. Always love it. So
And David, you've reached the long haul. You've done it right to the end. We've lost a couple. We've lost a couple on the way, but
Injuries, you know.
Yeah.
But Saturday, we'll start Friday. We've got 9 p.m. deadline day live. Saturday morning, 11 o'clock. We've got a pre-game match day live with Mark. So a little phone-in show. Get your thoughts in. We have got a post-match show after the game.
Yep.
About 3:30, isn't it? About that, isn't it? Or something like round
Is
about.
it half two?
Oh, no, 2:30.
Half
Yeah.
two.
So you do it straight after the game. You do it straight after the game, do you?
Yeah. Straight after. It's great to get people's reactions straight after.
Yeah.
To pick up. So it's good. It's good.
So come and get involved. That'll be quite good. And then we also then have the Sunday show again, as we look back on the aftermath of what we've been speaking about today. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, turn the notifications on, get alerts. As I say, thanks guys for coming on. Some really good views. And let's hope for a Edu masterclass or a gift tomorrow. So
Please, Eddie, please.
let's all cross our arms and cross our fingers and just pray for something good on this side. I'd like to hear his thoughts or see if he's still saying be patient now. So, you're watching in the North Bank. This was the match day preview show. See you later, Gooners. Come on, the Arsenal.
Come on.
Out the Gunners.